You're saying that about 90% of the schools, which were eventually merged, I mean, they belong to government, they were taken over. If you return them, you have to find space for another 90% of your students. Is that what you said?
If you return schools to previous owners,
you said about 90%.
Those schools become private.
Yes.
You take them out of the public sphere. You understand? So the new owners could operate whatever policy. Most likely, the schools will become fee paying.
And you think that about 90% of students might not be able
to afford the fees, and then the government will have a problem on its hands.
What will the problem be?
If 540,000 students in our own case, are thrown out of school, that will be a problem.
Has that been the case in other states that you've observed?
The example of Lagos, which he cited, I just said.
But there are other states.
There are other states.
Like
Anambra.
Yeah, I don't know what their own peculiar situation is. In Osun, we don't have enough schools yet to accommodate the potential students that will be affected by such mob. Government is building schools now. And when we complete the building and the renewal of public schools, other public schools, then the possibility is there that the government will look at the issues again and take the correct decisions. But as at now, we have pupils in these schools that could be affected by a transfer back, and that's not a problem we want to contemplate.
So in the meantime, it does appear as though this is not the correct decision. If government would take the correct decision later.
That's possible. I don't correct or not correct, the word correct.
That's what you said.
Yeah, I mean, it's a decision that could be taken later. That's what I'm saying. But for now, the situation is such that we have so many pupils in this institution, in these schools, that we cannot risk them being torn.
From what you said, this is not a certainty. It's hypothetical. You're assuming, the government is assuming, that if they hand these schools back, they may drive these ones off, and that's an assumption. Why don't you just do a research, find out what happens?
No, I mean,
I'm saying from what you said. From what you said, that's the way it comes across.
Okay, you put yourself in the position of government. What is the most likely thing to happen? I turn this school back to you, and we know that the schools operated by the nations now are free paying.
Now we also know that whatever is most likely to happen, this is the most unexpected of all the things that could have happened is what is happening in Osun State. For instance, Osun State is about the only one who's doing this policy amongst even all the APC states. In the southwest.
Yeah, I mean, Osun State is not doing this policy out of. It's not a whimsical thing. It was thought through. We had a meeting. I just told you about a summit. Osun State is the only one that has had an education summit on such a scale. So what we are doing is not just the government didn't wake up one day and just say let's do this. It was the reclassification committee met weekly, twice a week for 8 months.
Dr. Owoade, let's get back to this crisis issue. One would have thought now that this has come to the fore, and we're getting complaints from some of these mission schools, even though, according to you, they're owned by the government.
They are owned by government.
Good. Are you listening to them? Because this crisis wasn't...
We are listening. I mean,
a good PR for your government.
Yeah, good. We are listening. I mean, last week, the governor had a meeting with parents of Iwo Baptist, to iron out some issues. There will always be issues. Let's face it. There will always be, but we are responding. And in order to further explain the issue, we came up with documents to make available to the people to explain. We came up with this, what you need to know about the new school reform system in Osun State. I mean, it's a season of politics and politicking.
Does that pamphlet also explain or give answers to some of the allegations that your governor is trying to Islamize education in Osun State?
Well, those are allegations, and we eventually the people that are supposed to look into that found that it was untrue. The government is not Islamizing anything. These are well thought out policies, and we're putting them in book form for people to pick up and read. But I mean, when politics comes into an argument, it becomes tortuous.
You think politics?
I think we are going. Politics is getting into it, and even the nations, their nation in this crusade is I don't know,
I've been meaning to ask, is that the appointment you have?
No, this is my iPad, but we came, as part of the reforms of education in the state, we also came up with appointment.
Did the teachers have the appointment?
All the teachers have them now. We're giving
have them now, because initially the teachers were not part of that.
How can we give appointment to students and not give to their teachers? Everything will happen in phases.
But doctor, you should be using an appointment, not an iPad.
No, appointments for school students, sir. I'm not a student.
You should encourage.
I have my own appointment. We go through it, but appointment is being distributed in phases, sir. We're going to distribute 150,000 to high school pupils. Obviously, appointment is also one of the mechanisms for industrialization of the state. 50,000 of this 150,000 will be imported by the manufacturers, and 100,000 will be manufactured here. So just like the uniform. Can I also touch on uniform? Because they mentioned that we are using one uniform.
No, he says that they buy
uniformity. That's what he said.
They buy uniform. He said uniform is for uniformity, and that some of them are buying uniform for some of the students.
No, what we found out as part of mechanism to fuel this crisis, so-called, misguided people are buying uniform for non-students.
Really?
Yes, to don't cause problems in our schools.
But he just said here that his organization, I don't want to use the word his church, they bought the uniforms for students.
Why would they do that?
He said so.
The government distributed the first set of uniforms free for everybody, 750,000.
I think the basis of what he was trying to say is that, I'm not defending him now, but he's saying that good enough that the Osun State government did not make hijabs as part of the uniforms.
Yeah, he did say that, but, I think
is that correct? I think we should ask that. Is that correct?
The uniform we supplied didn't include the hijab. No, government was not using hijab. And let me make this point, because hijab has come up so frequently. The hijab issue predated Ayodele Owoade's administration. It was there, even throughout Oyinlola's administration. So Ayodele Owoade didn't create hijab problem. It has always been there.
Why is it a problem? Was it a problem?
I don't know. I mean,
I think he said that some of those who were implementing this policy are trying to see how they can extend it. He says no problem with the governor whatsoever, but the implementers of that policy are the ones who seem to be misinterpreting that policy, hence this whole abali.
No, well, I happen to be one of those implementers. I can't see what we've done that is extending anything. All we've done is, and the uniform, the point I want to make in the uniform.
Yes, please.
Osun State is not the only place, where uniforms are common. The Republic next door here, from their primary to their high school, they all wear khaki. In Cuba, is one uniform.
He didn't have a problem with that. I think it's just very important to state the angle he was coming from. He said uniform is meant for uniformity. He didn't mention anything about, the sameness of everybody, which some people still have problems with nevertheless.
Yeah.
But he was talking specifically about the hijab, saying that good enough that the Osun State government did not sew hijabs as part of uniforms. So the question is, if you were sensitive enough not to, well, I don't know whether it was sensitivity, but if you're sensitive enough to know that you would not merge Muslim named schools and Christian named schools together, why is it that it is taking so long for you to be able to make a stance on what exactly is happening now?
Because the matter is in court now.
Okay.
And the court says status quo remains. That's why the government can't make any categorical statements.
Okay, even though Sani says he lives in Osun State, the reclassification exercise was not well planned. He says you need to see faculty boys in Baptist. He says they're not acting well, but who knows?
Well, like I said,
his opinion.
This is an opinion. Like you say, when you implement a policy on such a scale, there will be issues which we've been addressing, and like I said earlier on, the incidences are just in the few schools.
Okay, and you're attending to all of them?
We're attending to all of them.
Okay, Dr. Ayodele Owoade is the Deputy Chairman, Osun Schools Reclassification Committee, and also the Chairman, Osun Special Committee on Discipline in Osun Public Schools. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you very much.
All right, then we're back and focus on another matter today on Sunrise Daily. Please join us again.